Good morning. We are looking at Psalm 139 today, and I'm just going to read it through and make a few comments as we go. So let's look at it starting in verse 1. O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you know it completely, O Lord. This verse section, David is just awed by the fact that God knows him so well. You know, sometimes we think we need to know ourselves, and that's true, but David is just focused on the fact that God knows him completely. He knows everything about him, everything. He knows all the good things. He knows all the not so good things. And then where does David go from here? Starting in verse 5, it says, You hem me in behind and before. You have laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. And so David says, you know me, you know everything about me, and yet you, like a loving parent, you watch over me. You've built this wall of protection around me. Nothing can touch me unless you allow it to do so. You know, we don't like to feel like we are being watched, like by Big Brother watching everything we do, but there's a great deal of comfort in feeling like, if we are a child, that our parent is watching over us and taking care of us. And I love this image of laying his hand on David. And I picture God just reaching out his hand and putting his hand on my head as a way of saying, I'm with you, and as a way of blessing. It's just a beautiful image. Then David goes on, verse 7, Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. And this obviously makes me think of the passage in Romans which says, what can ever separate me from the love of God? Height, depth, angels, demons, nothing can separate me from your love. So David says, you know me, you know the good, the bad. You watch over me in protection. You lay your hand on me to let me know you are with me. Your hand guides me and protects me. It's this image of God loving David. And then David says, and I can't get away from that presence, because when you make a commitment to be with me, you never leave me. It doesn't matter where I go or what I do. You are always with me. What a beautiful, beautiful image that is. Then David goes on, verse 13. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. So then David says, before I was even known by anyone on earth, you knew me. You made me. You have written down each day of my life in your book. It's this image of, it's on paper, it's there, it cannot be changed. It is a fact. So David says, there is purpose for my life. And, you know, we all need a purpose as human beings. We need to feel like we live with purpose. We're not just a mistake. There's purpose for us. And as David reflects on this and reflects that God has made him and made him for a purpose, look at David's response to all of this. In verse 17, he says, how precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. It's like he says, you know me, you love me, you take care of me, you guide me, you uphold me with your hand, you've made me, you've given me a purpose. And then he says, wow, you are amazing. You are amazing. He just responds in awe and in gratitude to God. And then I love this. I'm sure this is not exactly theologically sound maybe, but he goes, and when I wake up, you're still there. I love this because it's kind of like, is this a dream? Is this too good to be true? And David says, no, it's not a dream. This is reality. And it is so amazing. And then we get kind of a little bit of David the warrior coming into this psalm. He says, if only you would slay the wicked, O God. Away from me, you bloodthirsty men. They speak of you, God, with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord, and abhor those who rise up against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. David gets angry about people who speak badly about God. And you can't help but think of a young David going before the Philistine army, and Goliath is out there taunting Israel and taunting God and abusing God's name. And David is so angry that he steps up and he fights this massive, strong, world-renowned warrior because he is so upset about this person reviling God. And so we see that here. He's in awe of God, and then he gets angry at those who misuse God's name. And we see that anger here. But then David ends with a beautiful, beautiful prayer. Verse 23. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. What a beautiful way to end a prayer. David says, God, just search me. You know me. And if you see anything in me that is not good, show it to me. If you see any anxieties that would stop me from trusting you, show those to me and continue to lead me toward you. May this be our prayer this morning. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know those anxieties. Reveal them to me and continue to lead me toward you.